Hi, my name is Mark Toludo. I'm the CEO of Fruition Partners. And really what I want to walk through today is an introduction of how we've been using ServiceNow since 2008 to build platform applications that really extend the capability of ServiceNow beyond just the IT department. Our tagline is Elevate Service Management to the Cloud. I think what you'll see in our SRM showcase is a lot of different solutions that we can provide to different customers in different industries that help them create applications in the cloud utilizing not only ServiceNow, but other technologies. So the foundation, really where we start from, is ServiceNow itself. So what we're all familiar with in ServiceNow is that it provides us a lot of development tools that we can leverage. So if you picture ServiceNow being not just the database, but the many different elements. So you have the data that you're capturing and data that you're consolidating from multiple sources. You have really a powerful workflow engine. So this is our ability to not only capture the data, but assign and route different tasks to different parties. We also have the ability to do form and really user experience, right? This can look different based on the department, based on the user, so we can modify the look and feel of ServiceNow as well. Additionally, we can rely on other platform elements. There's a security model that we can leverage. We can leverage the reporting. So this is the backbone of ServiceNow and basically the application development framework that we leverage. Now most people start, and where we see all of our customers actually, typically starting is within the IT department itself. Now within the IT department though, we have certain terminology for the type of work and workflow that we do. So we have things like, we talk in terms of incident, we talk in terms of request, and the assets that we refer to within the IT department are actually things like servers, hardware, applications. But if we look, now let's take a little bit of a broader view as to how other people can use the same framework. So we can use these same concepts, the same application backbone, but we're going to take the management of the work and the workflow and apply it to a different department. A good example is field services. So they take on work the same way as IT does, but they don't call them incidents and requests. So their planned work would be maintenance efforts. Their unplanned work would be considered either work orders, and their assets that they leverage aren't going to be software and hardware. These assets could actually be light fixtures, offices, equipment, any other type of facilities. But they would also leverage the capabilities of ServiceNow. We can modify the forms, we take different data elements, how they route work to themselves, and additionally they might have a different need for things like a mobile capability versus IT. The IT department may not. So this same model repeats across many service towers. As we look at the different areas we should be considering, how does HR manage their work intake, planned work and unplanned work, and what assets are they leveraging? Other departments, legal teams. We can talk about purchasing and procurement, and even call centers. So now they have these different service towers all using the same workflow backbone. That's not to say we're replacing all applications, and we won't. Much like we don't do that with IT. IT still has software distribution tools, they have antivirus tools, they have monitoring tools. There are things that ServiceNow won't replace, but it really is meant to be the workflow backbone. Much like HR will still have payroll and a benefits system, legal will still have document management. There are still many other tools that these systems use. However, now we're integrating them into a single method of delivering service, which we call unified service delivery. So why is this powerful? It's powerful because these silos are no longer working independently and acting as black boxes to each other. So just one good example. Let's assume HR is actually trying to onboard someone. Well, no longer do they just have to make phone calls to all the other departments to get systems and work done. Now HR can basically start the request, even if they had to make a request to IT to procure a cell phone or to procure a monitor or other equipment, maybe IT realizes they don't have everything in inventory because they've checked their asset system. They then actually have to make a request to procurement. Procurement can authorize that. Additionally, HR would need potentially a field services at a different retail branch or a different location where this employee would be set up. Legal team needs to be involved to make sure all their paperwork and employment agreements have been signed. And that's just one example for a back office function. If we also included let's say a call center function. In some environments, like a retail situation, call centers actually are supporting all the stores. So if a call came in and we actually needed support, let's say a point of sale device was broken, well, the call center themselves could now route tickets to field services. Similarly, field services could get approval from purchasing to actually purchase that equipment. And IT actually would also be made aware of the work that needs to be done in the retail store. This is an example of full transparency using ServiceNow as a backbone to route work and workflow to each other. Now, one of the advantages of having all of this work and workflow managed within a single workflow backbone is we can do something that's really never been done before, which is what we call service integration and management, or better, SIAM. So imagine these departments aren't within your company, but they're actually outsourced to different vendors. So if you are a North American retail location, you're probably going to be outsourcing field services to maybe, we've seen between 2 and 10 different vendors that service different areas. Potentially HR is an outsourced function. We've certainly seen many call centers that are outsourced. Even within IT alone, there could be a dozen different outsourcers, from network monitoring to application development to server monitoring. The issue you face, though, is managing all of those vendors. It is a significant cost to most businesses. You have contracts that support the level of effort that should be performed. The challenge we see is that these different vendors actually are providing the customer the metrics. The metrics is the customer isn't looking at their own metrics. So now with SIAM, basically the data model and the workflow and the integrations that we've built, you can in real time measure and monitor all the different vendors. So essentially what you have under SIAM is a single data model. You have key performance indicators for all vendors. And this isn't to state everyone must use ServiceNow. We have built integrations with some people that are still on Remedy. They may still be on CA. They still may be on their own homegrown tools. Some of them may be on ServiceNow. We've built the integrations and we've built the data model framework so that at least we all agree what your SLAs are. We agree what the data model is. We agree how the work is meant to be routed and managed. So what this provides, once all of that work is being managed through ServiceNow, you're able to get these dashboards and these KPIs. And another key element here is basically it's the interface. Because what you're able to do is not only have the providers themselves potentially use their own interface, we can customize the ServiceNow interface to look unique to the different providers in the different locations. But additionally, all of this is being managed by the customer. And whatever dashboard, however they need to interface with these different departments, can be leveraged through a single pane of glass workflow intake system that can route and make decisions based on who that customer is, what location, what language, and what time zone. So essentially, you're managing all vendors through a single workflow tool that can be transparent to the customer themselves. So as you can see, service management isn't just for the IT department. All different silos and towers are going to use different disciplines of service management for work intake, planned work, unplanned work, and the types of assets, and not only for their own department, but how they relate to other departments. That's how we at Fruition, and why we say elevate service management to the cloud, because all departments can benefit from integrated technical solutions. For more information on how Fruition Partners can help you elevate service management to the cloud, visit our website or give us a call.